Govinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Namam Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale, Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminite Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasyati Desasatayine. हरे कृष्ण ऑल डिवोटीज। मैं सबको ये प्रार्थना करता हूँ कि जो मुझे अपॉर्चुनिटी मिला है ये चैप्टर 5 को प्रेजेंट करने के लिए, तो कृपा करिए।
अब फेस नहीं आ रहा प्रभु, स्क्रीन में आपका फेस नहीं आ रहा है। हाँ अभी और थोड़ा और राइट में आओ, और थोड़ा और थोड़ा सा राइट में आओ। यस ठीक है। और प्रियंका आप भी इधर इनके लेफ्ट की तरफ आइए। हाँ और आओ, बहुत गैप है। हाँ ठीक है, नाउ इट इज बेटर।
तो थैंक यू प्रभु जी, थैंक यू डिवोटीज फॉर गिविंग मी दिस अपॉर्चुनिटी टू summarize about this chapter 5 of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. तो हम लास्ट चैप्टर में ये पढ़े थे और वी डिस्कस अबाउट द appearance of Narad Muni, जो लास्ट वर्स में, and in that chapter we discussed about 3 sets of questions asked by Sonogadi Rishi to Sudha Goswami. So these questions are like this: what is the history of Srimad Bhagavatam? And in this question, sages said, we know Sudha Goswami, you heard it from Srila Sukadeva Goswami, and Sukadeva Goswami heard it from Srila Vyasadeva. And from where did Vyasadeva got the knowledge? Where did Vyasadeva got inspiration to compile Srimad Bhagavatam? In second question, about the speaker, about Sukadeva Goswami, and here, how did Hastinapur citizens recognize him? Because he did not stay in any place more than half an hour. Comparison किया गया था कि he does not stay at any householder more than the time required to milking a cow. So who do not stay such a limited time? How did Sukadeva Goswami decided to stay and say about Srimad Bhagavatam for 7 days? In third questions, हम डिस्कस ये किए थे ग्लोरियस बार्थ एक्टिविटीज ऑफ परीक्षित महाराज. हाउ डिड and why Parikshit Maharaj give up everything in his life and sit down to hear in the bank of Ganges to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and how did the meeting taken places, also discussed in chapter 4. After the questions asked by Sudha Goswami, the sets of questions, and Sudha Goswami begin to answer the first question. Here Vyasadeva forcing the features of Kali and understanding what is the people life in this age of Kali, less intelligent, less memory, and less duration of life, and quarrelsome for them. Remember of scriptures are very difficult, so he divided the Vedas into 4, and he also write Mahabharata for the less intelligent people. And still Vyasadeva is not satisfied, and sitting aside in the bank of river Saraswati, thinking what is the reason of his dissatisfaction. And when Vyasadeva thinking about the reason of his dissatisfaction, that time Narad Muni appear, and Vyasadeva, the disciples of Narad Muni, stand up and place while seeing the Narad Muni, the 4th chapter here. And to appearance नारद मुनि जो पहुंचे वहीं पे व्यासदेव के पास, वहीं से 4th chapter कंप्लीट हुआ था. और नारद मुनि देन चैप्टर 5th में वो अपना बोलना स्टार्ट किए. वो नारद मुनि बिगिन टू स्पीक व्यासदेव फ्रॉम चैप्टर 5. And in this chapter, basically three sections are this chapter. Here, Narada Muni inquired inquired Vyasa about the cause of his dissatisfaction. Uh, and second, the Narada Muni diagnosed it because he is the spiritual master of Vyasadeva. Then Narada Muni gave the example of his previous life, how he became a successful devotee, and then Narad Muni gives the conclusive advice to Vyasadeva. So here basically three levels of discussions are in this chapter. uh, इसमें ये है everyone try to become satisfied and everyone try to become need bliss. But even Vyasadeva not a Jiva Tattva, he is a Vishnu Tattva, and he needed a spiritual master. जो प्रभुपाद हम मेंशन कर रहे हैं, तो Vyasadeva accept a spiritual master just to set up example for the sake of all of us, for the sake of the all of us. और इसमें आगे जाके ऑल सबको हमें स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर गाइडेंस जरूर सबको चाहिए, गाइडेंस स्पिरिचुअल मास्टर का चाहिए. एंड व्यासदेव इसलिए सेटिस्फाई नहीं थे, डिस्पाइट ऑल एंड अवर ही इज नॉट सेटिस्फाइड. देन नारद मुनि डायग्नोज करेंगे आगे जाके, और ये भी बताएंगे हाउ कैन यू अटेन द एक्चुअल हैप्पीनेस. तो टेस्ट नंबर 1 में यहाँ पे सूत गोस्वामी बता रहे हैं नारद मुनि अराइव जब अराइव हुए उस टाइम जो है उनके हाथ में बीना था और वो जो है वो स्माइलिंग कर रहे थे. तो व्हाई नारद मुनि स्माइलिंग एंड व्यासदेव लुक्स डिप्रेस्ड. यहीं पे बिकॉज व्यासदेव राइटिंग स्क्रिप्चर्स फॉर द वेलफेयर ऑफ ऑल पीपल in the society, but he is not satisfied. And Narad Muni knows the cause of his dissatisfaction because Vyasadeva, none of in his scriptures speaks about the devotional service. Most of the scriptures of Vyasadeva consist of jnana and karma. So satisfaction class में ये discussion हुआ था कि satisfaction of heart will be there when one is satisfied the spiritual master and supreme lord. और व्यासदेव का कोई भी स्क्रिप्चर में ज्ञान और कर्म की अलावा भक्ति बारे में लिखा नहीं था, इसलिए जो डिससेटिस्फैक्शन थी. एंड टेक्स्ट नंबर 2 में नारद मुनि यहाँ पे एड्रेस करते हैं व्यासदेव को कि नारद मुनि यू आर मोस्ट फॉर्चुनेट, महाभाग and Parasarya, because you are the son of Parasar, you you have a great parentage and great learning. तो यहाँ पे नारद मुनि व्यासदेव को महाभाग एंड पराशर बोल के वो संबोधित करते हैं. और इसमें नारद मुनि said, you says that you have given the path of self realization, but you have given the people identified with body and mind. So इसमें ट्रांसलेशन में लिखे हैं, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or the mind as object of self realization? So in response to Narad Muni, and text number 3 में नारद मुनि said not only you have great parentage, you are a great learned and you compiled the literature Mahabharata, and still why are you dissatisfied? टेस्ट नंबर 4 में यहाँ पे ये बताया गया है, डियर व्यासा, you have scholarly compiled the Vedanta Sutra, which is most complicated, still you are dissatisfied. Narad Muni called Vyasadeva as here Prabhu, And how Vyasdev said, yes, my spiritual master. And now Vyasdev said, yes, my spiritual master, I am dissatisfied. Then from text number 5, Vyasdev starting to say. So in text number 5, Vyasdev said, Vyasdev said, my dear spiritual master, you perfectly understand I am dissatisfied. You are agadh bodham. इसमें बताएगा अगाध बोधम, the man with unlimited knowledge who knows past, present, and future, everything. Therefore, I am asking about this question to you. यहीं पे और एक लिखा गया आत्मभाव, आत्मभाव मन से सेल्फ मन। यहाँ पे व्यासदेव बता रहे हैं, व्हाई आई एम आस्किंग दिस क्वेश्चन टू यू, बिकॉज यू आर नॉट क्रिएटेड बाय मदर और फादर। और व्यासदेव के बारे में इसमें बता रहे हैं कि व्यासदेव जो है वो ऑर्डिनरी पर्सन नहीं थे, वो तो लिटररी इनकारनेशन ऑफ सुप्रीम लॉर्ड है, और वो ग्रेट साधक है। Still, he is taking the shelter of a spiritual master. And Narad Muni knows here that Vyasadeva will identify his problem personally for his dissatisfaction. In test number 6, who is qualified to be a guide or guru is explained. So in this course, the qualifications are given. इसमें पहले क्वालिफिकेशन है, he is very learned in scriptures and all Vedic literatures. Not only learned, he also applied the Vedic knowledge. And Upasita, worship, whom do we worship? Parasara, Purana Purusha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? And Purabhareso, the control of material and spiritual world. So in this verse, it was discussed that knowledge can be received through the medium of bona fide spiritual master, and unless until one is realized this knowledge by performing devotional service, knowledge will be baseless. And whoever is 100% devotee of Supreme Lord, he is the emblem of all knowledge. All these things are discussed in our class. In test number 7, another set of qualifications of Narad Muni explained by Vyasadeva. Like sun travels the three world, Swarga, Martya, and Patalo. Similarly, Narad Muni also travels, and Tvam Paryantam Arka. Tvam Paryantam Arka. यहीं पे ये डिस्कशन किया, you also travel like the sun in all the three world, and not only you travel outside, you also like air, pran vayu, you also present in me like Paramatma. So Narad Muni is the interspace traveler. He can go anywhere like the sun travels, but you penetrate the internal region of everyone like air. So you can know the heart feeling of me like the super soul. ये सब बता रहे हैं नारद मुनि का क्वालिफिकेशंस। व्यासदेव यहाँ पे एक्सप्लेन कर रहे हैं।
वर्ड
एंड
आपने क्या बोला? पर्यंतन?
त्वम पर त्वम पर्यटन पर्यटन अर्क
हाँ, पर्यंतन कहाँ से आ गया?
त्वम पर्यटन अर्क प्रभु।
हाँ, पर्यटन है। पर्यटन का मतलब है भ्रमण करना। पर्यटन वर्ड है ना?
यस यस प्रभु, पर्यटन।
तो पर्यटन कहाँ से बोल रहे थे? पर्यंतन कहाँ से आ गया? अभी ठीक किया आपने, ध्यान
जी
से।
प्रभु।
अच्छा, संस्कृत वर्डों की व्याख्या करें कि संस्कृत शब्द तो सही बोलना पड़ेगा।
जी प्रभु जी, ट्राई।
ठीक है, बड़े।
एंड
ठीक है,
so
बोलो बोलो।
Vasudev said, you are an expert physician. You can find the faults on me. In text number 8, Narad Muni now Narad Muni said to Vyasa.
So from this
तो
next, this is next section. Now
yes
Narada
प्रभु,
speak.
yes प्रभु।
Okay, so far Vyasadeva was speaking. Okay, good.
यहीं पे नारद मुनि डिक्टेट करते हैं, फर्स्ट डिफेक्ट ही आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं। व्हाट एवर यू हैव डन सो फार इज इनसफिशिएंट बिकॉज टिल नाउ यू हैव नॉट ग्लोरिफाइड द सुप्रीम लॉर्ड। तो यहाँ पे ये संस्कृत संस्कृत में ये बताया गया है, भवतानुदिन प्राय भवतानुदित प्रायम
अनुदित
you
प्राय।
almost you
भवता।
almost not glorified the yasa of Bhagavan, who is that Bhagavan who is spotless. Narada Muni said, you have not sufficiently glorified Bhagavan, therefore you are not satisfied. So many scriptures are given about the two accepts, impersonal feature of the Supreme Lord and Paramatma features of the Supreme Lord. But he lacks the realization of Supreme Lord and engaged in his service. Not about the personal feature of Supreme Lord, uh, uh, is focused by पर्सनल फीचर्स जो है सुप्रीम लॉर्ड का, वो इसमें इंक्लूड नहीं किए हैं व्यासदेव। Now Narad Muni describe about the how Vyasadeva only deliberately avoids the glorified Supreme Lord and predominantly describe the karma kanda, the purusartha, dharma, artha, kam, moksha in text number 9. Dear Baso, what you have indeed done, if you have actually again and again you glorified the Purushartha, you have not glorified Vasudeva, whose Mahima must be sung. You have not glorified him, rather you have more explicitly glorified the Purushartha. Narada said, Vyasa, people of this world are already attached to these four things for sense gratification, and on top of it, you have so much spoken about the sense gratification. If they are already attracted for sense gratification, and in between you speak little about supreme personality of Godhead, then uh, how can they know about Krishna and understand about Krishna? So here Vyasadeva deliberately avoid the glorification of Supreme Lord and uh, and from uh, this point till the beginning, we learned even Vyasadeva, a great personality, needed a spiritual master, and the cause of Narada Muni's despondency, he is now to glorify the Supreme Lord. And the qualifications of a guru also discussed. And guru must be a learned person. Not only he is well learned, he also applied the Vedic knowledge. He should be a upasaka and Purusha Purana. So from in text number 10 and 11, Narad Muni speaks about the two kinds of literature, the materialistic literature and the spiritual literature. And in materialistic literature, what is the quality of a materialistic literature is that which discussed in text number 10. We are not focusing on the supreme personality of Godhead, and we are fails to perform devotional service. If you glorified Supreme Lord, the whole world will be purified by the influence of Kali. Where there is, and here where you can compose a poetry with the most decorative words and very good language. But if it does not glorify the yasa of Supreme Lord uh, and the glories of the Supreme Lord, and Supreme Lord, who is the creator of the entire world, as who is attracted to such, then who is attracted to such writings, and when you do not glorify the Lord, these are the materialistic literature. यहीं पे तद बायसम तीर्थम करके संस्कृत टर्म आया है. तद बायसम तीर्थम, इट इज ए होली प्लेस फॉर द पीपल हु हैव क्रो लाइक मेंटालिटी. तो na yatra hamsa, but those who have consciousness of swan, they do not get attracted to such mundane literature. यहीं पे हम दो प्रकार का डिस्कशन किए थे, जो perfectly saintly persons are compared to swans and the fruitive workers compared to the crow. So the perfectly saintly persons are not interested in these conferences and meetings, and they are taking the Amala Puran, Srimad Bhagavatam, and other scriptures, and they are sages who always attracted to sing, hear, and discuss the glories of the God. And the fruitive workers are mostly interested in these conferences and meetings, uh, wealth, wine, women, and सिमिलरली जैसे कि हम कौवा को हर गंदी जगह पे देखते हैं, हर जगह पे देखते हैं, क्रो लाइक literatures are available everywhere only for sense gratification. These scriptures are only for sense gratification. Only, and these scriptures are only fit for the gross body and subtle mind. And like a crow is attracted to the trash and dustbins, those who are attracted to such late night party and movies, etc., these are compared to the crow like mentality people. And such crow like mentality actually uh, वो destroy the consciousness, our real consciousness. um, and how it destroys our consciousness is described in text number 10.
Prabhu, please take care of time also. You don't have unlimited time. Be precise.
Yes, Guru. In text number 11 स्पिरिचुअल लिटरेचर के बारे में बताया गया है. और यहीं पे और बताया गया इवन इफ सच ट्रांसलेंटल वर्ड्स राइटिंग स्पीच इज improperly composed, get it can bring about the transcendental revolution of the consciousness of all living entities. Why? Because glorifies the nama rupa of the supreme lord, supreme personality of godhead, and should be seen and should be accepted by the saintly persons, and they accepted, they hear such spiritual literatures and transcendental works even though they are improperly composed. So uh, this verse which revelation our consciousness is explained. So here Prabhupada talks about the crisis, uh, about the China-India war, and today we seeing when we comes out from one problem, one crisis, then another crisis are coming. So still Prabhupada अभी बताए थे कि जब चाइना इंडिया वार होता उस टाइम में लिख रहे थे, तो हाउ इम्पोर्टेंट श्रीमद् भागवतम एंड भागवत गीता, एंड हाउ इट ब्रिंग्स all society, all to bring together in a common center point, so that everyone can understand what is God and what is the real aim of our life. In test number 12, uh, although all Vedic literatures talk about moksha, nashkarma, but those scriptures are devoid of achyuta bhava, devoid of emotions for the Lord. Those scriptures which are devoid of the glories of the Lord, that are that is waste of time, and it is very very important from whom do you hear and whose translation we are read and commentary we read. Srila Prabhupada in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita says there are so many authors of Bhagavad Gita, but we have to consider who is the speaker and what is the commentary. These are only literatures one should read. Those scriptures which are devoid of Krishna are no use. In text number 13, after commentary, the writing of Vyasa, commenting the writing of Vyasa, Narad Muni now building the confidence of Vyasadev. Narad Muni said, "You are qualified, so do not underestimate yourself. Oh fortunate Vyasa, Narad Muni said, you are among the faultless vision. You can also see past, present, and future. You are Suchisrava, you are a clean. You have taken the vow of truthfulness and Dridhavata. You are determined in your vows. You are always meditating uh, on Urukrama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And you know very well, one who takes shelter of Urukrama can free from all the bondages. In text number 13, Srila Prabhupada purport focuses on the intellectual class and class of people hankering for knowledge, and for them Vyasadeva composed literature which does not compose literature which doesn't two things: composite literature which glorifies a lot, benefits, it mitigates misery, the cause of dissatisfaction is not having relationship with the God, and compile a literature to satisfy the hankering of the intellectual class who are always hankering to learn more. So in text number 14, though Srila Prabhupada in 13 also focusing that how do how due to curiosity people read mundane newspapers daily in day out, then uh, let them hear about Krishna so that his pastimes are unlimited, so therefore they are safe. So Narad Muni says in text number 14, Vyasa without glorifying Supreme Lord, everything else is useless because of such writings. Only uh, one can educate the mind. Now Vyasdeva said, I did all that. Please understand my inner desire. Why did I glorify Purusartha? To attract the minds of the people in literature. In text 15, now Narad Muni chastised Vyasdeva. Vyasa, you just touched up, you should speak, you just touched up, you should speak direct Krishna consciousness, and uh, people are already trying to engage to enjoy, and you encourage them to in the name of religion. This is verily condemned, and it is quite unreasonable. You have misguided them, and you should speak directly, write directly. Do not present secondary to Supreme Lord, directly to the Supreme Lord. Then text number 16, Narada Muni gives the instruction to Vyasdeva. Narada Muni said, Narada Muni said, indirectly do not do all the same. You should speak active with the Lord and the bhakti. In text number 17, glories of bhakti explained from this verse, and the devotional service bhakti comes from this verse. So in this verse, one must give up his occupational duties for what? To accept the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Even if the devotional service is not mature enough, what loss? There is no loss for such a person. And even if a non-devotee fully engaged in occupational duties but does not take shelter of the lotus feet, what benefit he gives? Materially successful persons, but spiritually failure, he is ultimately a failure. Somebody materially failure, but spiritually done something, then he is a successful. Narad Muni in text number 18 says, what should be the aim of our life, and what should be our objective, and what should not. तो कवि दो वर्ड इसमें आया है. कवि दो में यहाँ पे इंटेलिजेंट पर्सन के बारे में बताया गया है. And for an intelligent person should make such endeavor which leads for spiritual world. And why should we aim for that? Why aim for that? Just like nobody wants miseries, miseries comes in our life and on his own accord, and similarly material happiness also comes on his own accord. So our aim of life should not be for material happiness. Our goal should be find the real happiness, Krishna Prema, because results are permanent and these material results are temporary. In text number 19 translation, Narada Muni said, even though a devotee of Lord Krishna sometimes falls down somehow or other, he certainly does not undergo material existence like others. Because a person who once relished the taste of lotus feet of the Lord do not do nothing but remember that ecstasy again and again. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada says, emphasizes how to see the sufferings faced by a devotee. When a materialistic person gets suffering, that because of his karma, but when a devotee faces challenges, that does not because of his karma. The reason is that a non-devotee is anatha, and a devotee is a devotee, a sanatha who has a master. devotee recognizes Supreme Father, just a child is left by mother or father, because when the child become naughty, the purpose of slapping is bring back to the track. That slapping is not because of envy or cause harm. The purpose is to bring back the child to track. Similarly, the sufferings in the life of a devotee to bring him the exact actual path in the lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So these things, two ways of rectify a devotee, by directly interfere, and Krishna directly interfere immediately and giving some slapping, and Krishna also give chances for next birth so that he can change and do bhakti again. And Narada Muni now, from test number 12, Narada Muni now going to say Supreme Personality of Godhead. Text number 21, Narada Muni gives the instructions to describe the Supreme Personality of God. Here Narada Muni says, Hey Vyasa, you are the plenary parts of the Supreme Lord. You are fully empowered and you can explain about the Supreme Personality of God. And nobody can explain better about the Lord than yourself. In text number 22, I am not saying this of all the uh, I am not saying this, Vyasa. It is a conclusive of all the Lord says that are glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the important uh, and is the actual uh, and this is the actual medicine for material sickness. So in first part, Vyasdev summarized, Vyasa, why are you suffering? You are so intelligent. Then when Vyasa takes shelter of Narada Muni and seek guidance, Narada Muni identified the problem and diagnosed by finding the reasons of Vyasadev's fault, and how bhakti is so glorious is speak by Narada Muni till now. From verse number 23 onwards, Narada Muni speaks about his life, and he says his Narada Muni talks about how I became what I am today. So Narada Muni's previous life is explained from test number 23 to test number 30. Narada Muni says, in my previous life, I was born in a family of Sudra. I was born a insignificant son of a maid servant. Uh, when he was at the age of 5 years, sages come to his home in Chaturmasya Vrata. His mother got the opportunity to serve the sages, and then Narada Muni also got the opportunity to serve the sages, and that is how bhakti started in Narada Muni. Bhakti only starts by the mercy of Vaishnavas, and Narada Muni said, "I got the causeless mercy of the Vaishnavas, because even though I was only a small boy, I was self-control. I do not speak much, and the qualities of Narada Muni also mentioned. In test, once with their permission, Narada Muni took the remnants of the remnants of foods of Vaishnavas. Then all of his sins were eradicated. By doing this service, serving the exalted devotees, serving the Supreme Lord, um, uh, serving to the Supreme Lord became very attractive for Narada Muni. In their association, Narada Muni heard narrations of Lord Krishna and the transcendental pastimes of Krishna. By such regular and attractive hearing, Narada Muni says, my taste for such topics increased at every step. When this transcendental taste became very strong, my attention becomes fully fixed in hearing about the Supreme Lord Krishna. As a result, the mode of ignorance and passion vanished from my heart, and I realized myself to be different from gross and subtle body. Then I loved those pure devotees greatly, and with a very gentle behavior, I strictly follow the instructions. Then Narada Muni says, when they were about to depart, they instructed me in Bhakti Yoga, the art of using everything in the service of the Lord, to ultimately return back to home back to Godhead. Uh, from text number 23 to 30, all about Narada Muni's life explained by Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Then from text number 31 to 36, Narada Muni talks about the karma yoga, how to perform karma yoga, action to achieve liberation, and but if it is done to satisfy the Supreme Lord, then karma becomes the cause for liberation. And if any work performed for the satisfy for himself, then it binds him. The same work can cause for bondage, and the same work can become the cause of liberation. We one do not have to change the work, but one has to change how to perform work. And while performing duty, the consciousness also, the change of consciousness, how it is required. While performing work, we naturally attract for the um, we naturally attract. We are doing this for us, but Krishna says the results are awarded by me, and benefits should be engaged in my service. And in from 37 to text 40, Narada Muni gives the mantras to Vyasadeva. And I have prepared up to this, and here I can read it from the translation probably.
बोलो.
In 37, and translation is, let us chant the glories of Vasudeva along with his planet expansion, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Sankarsana. In text number 38, and the actual seer who worship in the form of transcendental sound representation, the supreme personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who has no material form. In 39, O Brahmana, thus by the Supreme Lord Krishna, I was endowed first and with the transcendental knowledge of the Lord, as inculcated in the confidential parts of the Vedas, then with the spiritual opulences, and then with his intimate loving service. In text number 14, and please therefore describe the Almighty Lord's activities which you have learned by your vast knowledge of the Vedas, for what will satisfy the hankering of great learned man, and at the same time mitigate the miseries of the masses of common people who are always suffering from material pains. Indeed, there is no other way to get out such miseries. So in last section, Narada Muni gives about the mantras to Vasudeva. So in 39, yes, so yeah, I prepared after this.
What is the purpose of the presentation? To give the understanding and overview of the chapter. And what you have done? How the other presenters, how the other devotees presented before? This is the 5th chapter, na?
Yes,
4 people have presented before you.
yes, yes.
You are not the first one. Now look at the time that you have taken. अभी कितना टाइम हुआ है? 9:20 से ऊपर हो गया है. 9:22-23 हुआ है. मुझे ये बताओ, इस पूरे चैप्टर का अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या है, कंक्लूजन क्या है?
Closely understanding ये है, one should accept spiritual master without a spiritual master, one cannot understand the spiritual matters, understand about the supreme personality of Godhead. So first thing is the
No, that is not the, still you are not on the point. What does this chapter reveal? What you are saying is not completely incorrect, but it is not on the point.
chapter's conclusion is that without the glorification of the Supreme Lord, one cannot be happy.
Yes, that is there. But how can one glorify?
Yes.
How can one glorify? Who can glorify? Anyone can glorify, and he can be happy.
No problem.
Then what? This is the gist I am asking. What is the gist of this chapter?
Though those who understand his position and the position of the Supreme Lord,
No, wait. ये तोता वाला जो अप्रोच है ना, इससे कुछ नहीं हासिल होगा. अंडरस्टैंडिंग कितना हुआ है इसमें? सबसे सब्सटैंशियल पार्ट क्या है? I compared this chapter to one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. आप में से others, those who are hearing?
तो जिस प्रकार से अर्जुन डिससेटिस्फेक्शन हुए थे बाय
अभी
कोटिंग सो
लास्ट में मैंने 100 बार पूछ लिया, तब आप शुरू कर रहे हो. आप वो पूरा पॉइंट ही मिस कर गए. अर्जुन भी अपने को क्या समझ रहे थे?
ही
वेरी
नोस.
लर्नड.
यस.
That he knows the scriptures. He knows what is dharma. And what was his position of heart? He was crying. And here also we see Vyasadeva. One more big, you started by saying that Vyasadeva is Vishnu Tattva. Where is it written that Vyasadeva is Vishnu Tattva? Did you all hear? He said Vyasadeva is Vishnu Tattva. सुने थे नहीं सुने थे बाकी लोग?
Yes, Prabhuji. So it's
बाकी तो सो रहे थे ना, सुनेंगे कहाँ से? Where is Vyasadeva described as Vishnu Tattva? Tell me. इतना बड़ा philosophical flaw. कभी प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला, मैंने बोला कि व्यासदेव विष्णु तत्व है? तत्व विभ्रम है. कौन से तत्व है? Who is व्यासदेव? बोलिए, आपसे पूछ रहा हूँ.
Guruji is a literary incarnation.
लिटरेरी इनकारनेशन. ही इज अ शक्त्यावेश अवतार. शक्त्यावेश अवतार नहीं जानते आप क्या होता है? हु इज शक्त्यावेश अवतार? बोलिए, प्रभु 9:30 बजने वाला है. लेट अस हैव सम अंडरस्टैंडिंग. दैट इज व्हाई आई आस्क्ड यू टू प्रेजेंट, सो दैट आई कम टू नो वेयर यू स्टैंड. जब स्पीकर बोलता है तो लिसनर कहता है हाँ हाँ मुझे सब आता है, आई नो ऑल दिस. व्हाट इज सत्यावेश अवतार? आई एम आस्किंग यू सिंपल क्वेश्चन.
इसमें भगवान वो एम्पावर्ड करते हैं, शक्ति देते हैं कि उनको.
भगवान को एम्पावर करते हैं?
नहीं प्रभु, भगवान उनको एम्पावर्ड करके भेजते हैं कि
किसको? किसको? कितने प्रकार के अवतार हैं? हमने इसके ऊपर कितने सालों से चर्चा कर रहे हैं.
6 प्रकार के.
तो उन 6 प्रकार में एक प्रकार है शक्ति आवेश अवतार. ठीक है.
यस.
इसका क्या मतलब है शक्ति आवेश अवतार का? हम आपसे सरल सा प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं। नहीं क्लियर है तो बोलो नहीं आता, इधर उधर मुंह क्यों लटका रहे हो?
नहीं प्रभु जी, यही मुझे सुना था कि ये भगवान शक्ति का आवेश करते हैं ताकि वो एम्पावर करते हैं
किसको
और
किसको? शक्ति का आवेश किसे करते हैं? क्लैरिटी जानना चाहता हूँ ना, कितनी है आपको इस शक्ति आवेश अवतार की?
तो एम्पावर्ड पर्सनालिटी।
हाँ, जीव तत्व को।
यस
जीव तत्व क्लियर है या नहीं?
जी जी।
और कौन शक्ति आवेश अवतार की और एग्जांपल्स बताइए।
भक्ति शक्ति, नारद।
हाँ, नारद मुनि है, वो विष्णु तत्व नहीं है, वो जीव तत्व है, बट बिकॉज ऑफ हिज डिवोशन ही हैज बीन एम्पावर्ड। So Vyasadeva is also Jiva Tattva, but he has come for a purpose. He has been empowered to present the scriptures. So he is the literary incarnation. He is not Vishnu Tattva.
यस
आपने शुरू में ही विष्णु तत्व बोल दिया, वो बहुत बड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन है ना, रॉन्ग रॉन्ग कंसेप्शन।
यस यस यस।
मेरे को बड़ा शौक लगा कि आपको ये कहाँ से मिला। मैंने कभी आज तक बोला नहीं, प्रभुपाद जी की किसी राइटिंग में दिखाइए तो ये कहाँ से उपजा, वेयर डिड इट कम फ्रॉम? यही तो नारद मुनि पूछ रहे हैं। हाँ, you have what you have given is based on body and mind. Where is it coming from? ये कहाँ से आया? चलिए, बाकी लोगों के किसी क्वेश्चन है तो पूछिए। आपने मेहनत बहुत किया, लेकिन प्रेजेंटेशन करना सीखिए। आपसे पूरा डेटा नहीं मांग रहे हैं और पूरा डेटा प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं, डेटा थोड़ी मांगा है। आज का है आपको ग्राफिक चाहिए, समझे? डेटा किसको चाहिए? डेटा तो अपनी किताब है, पढ़ लेगा। प्रेजेंटेशन का पार्ट होना चाहिए, क्या जिस्ट है। एक और बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट पार्ट था जो आपने मिस कर दिया, दैट इज विच इज सेपरेट इन विजन ऑलवेज रिएक्ट्स। 14th वर्ष में है या 15th वर्ष में? मैंने उसके ऊपर बहुत चर्चा की थी। या पृथक दृशा, पृथक दृशा 14th वर्ष में। एनीथिंग विच इज डिस्क्राइब विच इज डिस्कनेक्टेड विद कृष्णा, इसको आपने एम्फसाइज नहीं किया। ये सबसे बड़ा डिफेक्ट है इस पूरे प्रेजेंटेशन में जो नारद मुनि ने डायग्नोस किया, वो इस एस्पेक्ट को सबसे ज्यादा हाईलाइट किया कि तब इसलिए बता रहे हैं कि आपको करना क्या है कि शृण्वन्ति गायन्ति गृह्णन्ति अभिष्णु, आप साधु, आप कृष्ण को ग्लोरीफाई करिए। डिफेक्ट है जो उन्होंने इसको डायग्नोस किया, और इस डिफेक्ट के कारण क्या होगा, सारे लोग पृथक दिशा में रहेंगे। दे विल नॉट बी एबल टू कम टू दी राइट दिशा। देन यू आर द रीजन, यू आर द कॉज ऑफ ऑल द मिजरीज। दैट इज व्हाई लास्ट में कंक्लूड करते हैं कि आप वो प्रेजेंटेशन दो जिससे लोगों की मिजरीज खत्म हो, मिटिगेट द मिजरीज। आप कर क्या रहे हो, आप जो प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो उससे उनकी मिजरीज क्रिएट होंगी। इसलिए वो सब शब्द बोल रहे हैं, तस्सेव होते हो प्रभुत्व को भी दो। वो पृथक दिशा वाला पॉइंट, सब कुछ नहीं करना है यार। आप आपका पूरा डेटा प्रेजेंट करने का प्रयास करो, पूरा सारा परपोर्ट प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो, पूरा वर्ड प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो, वो थोड़ी करना है आपको। पूरा भागवतम थोड़ी सुन रहे हैं आपसे चैप्टर। हमने आपको आधे घंटे का टाइम दिया, उसमें आप जो इसका मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एस्पेक्ट है उसको हाईलाइट करिए, बस दैट्स इट। आगे के स्पीकर्स प्लीज डोंट डू दिस, अदरवाइज आई विल नॉट कंसीडर दैट एज अ प्रेजेंटेशन। पूरा डेटा उठा के प्रेजेंट करने का प्रयास करें, प्रेजेंट भी कहाँ है, वो खाली रीडिंग हो रहा है। तो आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग किधर आ रहा है, आपका एनालिसिस किधर आ रहा है? सिक्स चैप्टर किसका है? रम्या आपका है?
यस प्रभु जी।
ओके, एंड प्लीज नॉट मोर देन हाफ एन आवर। हाफ एन आवर बहुत है। हाफ एन आवर टाइम इज मोर देन सफिशिएंट। एटलीस्ट 10 मिनट्स क्वेश्चन आंसर्स का होना चाहिए। आज तो क्वेश्चन आंसर हुआ ही नहीं। करो, इसमें देयर इज नथिंग टू गेट डिसअपॉइंटेड। आप लोग का फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट है, बट प्लीज बी क्लियर इन विच डायरेक्शन वी हैव टू मूव। ओके, डोंट ट्राई टू ओवरलोड विद information. Try to bring out the gist of the information. Okay, others, if they have anything, they can ask. पूछिए। Manora, what did you observe?
Prabhuji, I think Prabhuji has, of course, he has very much linked the previous chapter, Prabhuji. So it was very much enlightening. We could connect with previous chapter, and then also while going through verse by verse. So this also has striked Prabhuji. I think Madhustan Prabhuji has told about this 14th little bit, and he also spoken that those literatures does not speak about the Supreme Lord, it deviates from the Supreme Lord. So this is what he spoken. I think I have written down that much, and now it has been more clear, Prabhuji, after the discussion. So I think that is what is important. So striking point, and then afterwards he detects his faults, and then he directs Vyasdeva to give the transcendental subject matter. So I think now I can connect also better. Although Prabhuji told, so after discussion it was much more convincing, Prabhuji. I think this much only, yes. Prabhuji.
Okay, Pranav.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. Yes, this presentation is very much enlightening for me also. Oh, I want
Don't repeat it.
to.
Don't repeat it. I will not allow this kind of presentation. Okay.
I
Don't just give
want.
me the full text and
I want to inquire one thing, Prabhuji, and that Narad Muni was diagnosing the reason of Vyasdev's despondency, that he gave all the literatures which is based on Karma Kand and Gyan Kand. But we know out of 18 Puranas, there are 6 Purans which are called Sattvic Puran. Out of that, Padma Puran, Brahma Vaivata Puran. Srila Prabhupada also quoted in many of his purport from these Purans. So, is this Puran also not glorifying Supreme Lord?
which Puran?
Padma Puran, Brahma Vaivata Puran, and like that, as those are Sattvic Purans. These are also
It is answered.
falls on that
It
Karma
is
Kand.
answered. It is answered. Okay. So आपने प्रश्न पूछ समझ लिया रविंद्र प्रभु?
Yes, Prabhuji.
इसका आंसर क्या है जो प्रश्न पूछ रहे हैं प्रणव प्रभु?
Any literature which does not glorify the Supreme Lord, that literature should be materialistic literature.
कह रहे हैं कि भगवान का तो उन्होंने पद्म पुराण में और कुछ जो सात्विक पुराण है उसमें गुणगान तो किया है ना, तो ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं? क्या उन्होंने सात्विक पुराण नहीं दिए क्या? 6 सात्विक पुराण है, 6 राजसिक पुराण है और 6 तामसिक लोगों के लिए पुराण है। तो जो
Prabhuji,
सात्विक पुराण है उसमें तो लिखा ही है भगवान का गुणगान, फिर ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं व्यासदेव? तो ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं?
Vyasdev specifically not emphasized about the devotional service part.
तो उन्होंने क्या ग्लोरीफाई किया? मैंने आपको आंसर बता दिया।
उन्होंने ज्ञान एंड कर्म का ही जो है डिस्कशन।
आंसर 9th क्वेश्चन में है, 9th वर्ष में है, फिर आपने सही आंसर नहीं दिया। बिकॉज ही हैज ओवर एम्फसाइज्ड ऑन 4 पुरुषार्थ।
Yes,
उन्होंने ज्यादा गुणगान किसका किया है? धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष का।
yes,
लेकिन भक्ति, प्रेम में भक्ति का पद्म पुराण में, अन्य पुराणों में उतना चर्चा नहीं किया है जितना धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष को किया है। तो लोग कहाँ इंक्लाइन हो जाएंगे, कहाँ अट्रैक्ट हो जाएंगे? तो इस दिशा में, पृथक दिशा। दैट इज वाई श्रीमद् भागवतम इज विच पुराण, प्रणव? What is the quality of Srimad Bhagavatam?
It's called Amal Puran, and
Padma Puran is not called Amal Puran. Is any other Puran called Amal Puran?
no,
And what is the final presentation of Vyasadeva?
Srimad Bhagavatam.
Then, because what is presented in Srimad Bhagavatam is not presented elsewhere. So you got the answer?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay.
Yeah. Good. Good that you are. Anyone else? Quickly, किसी का कोई प्रश्न है, कोई जिज्ञासा? ना कोई एस्पेक्ट जो उन्होंने नहीं टच किया जो इम्पोर्टेंट था? जयश्री?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So Prabhuji, he went by verse to verse, I mean in depth. But
Don't
initially,
repeat all
I
this.
was
What I am
so much
asking
tired, I
you,
was
you
not
please
able
give,
to.
you give that. हमारे पास टाइम नहीं, we already crossed 9:30.
I could not hear initially, Prabhuji, that link I could not hear. So I will again hear recorded because I was somewhat tired. I could not hear the link between the fourth and fifth. I will hear that, Prabhuji.
Okay. So what is your observation?
The understanding was very good, Prabhuji, but as you told that the summary we can have, Prabhuji. Summary, how to
Don't
summarize
try
the
to
things.
overload with data or text in terms of copy paste. That is not presentation. Okay. Thank you. I appreciate the effort. No doubt you put in time, you put in effort. But ये आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग के लिए, ताकि आप पूरा पढ़ें और समझें, ठीक है? लेकिन आपको प्रस्तुत वो नहीं करना है जो पूरा का पूरा टेक्स्ट है। उसमें जो मेन पॉइंट्स हैं उसको हाईलाइट करना है, जिस प्रकार से नारद मुनि ने हाईलाइट किया कि उनकी कमी क्या है, उसी प्रकार से आपको हाईलाइट करना है कि इस चैप्टर की विशेषता क्या है। इस चैप्टर की विशेषता ये है कि चाहे कोई कितना भी लर्नड हो, चाहे कोई कितना भी स्किल्ड हो, चाहे कोई कितना भी सक्षम हो, बिना गुरु के निर्देश के वो कंक्लूजन तक नहीं पहुंच सकता। यस्या देवे परा भक्ति यथा देवे तथा गुरु तस्य कथिता ही अर्था प्रकाशन्ते महात्मा। This is the conclusion of this chapter. To find out this verse and see, this is it. Unless and until one is guided and blessed by the spiritual master, one cannot reach to any conclusion. He may be a literary incarnation like Vyasadeva himself. He requires guidance. So what to speak of Kali Yugi Jiva, who is thinking that he can find his own way. And then, of course, this is how the history of Srimad Bhagavatam is, how Srimad Bhagavatam comes to the lotus mouth of Narad Muni. Actually, Bhagavatam is presented by Narad Muni. He is gifted. He receives the Bhagavatam from his father, Brahmaji, and he gives the realization of Bhagavatam in the heart of Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva was not, this is what he is asking, you are lacking that realization. Although you have written so much, but where is that realization? So that realization is transferred from the heart of Narad Muni to Vyasadeva, and then he will present it. This is the most important aspect. I said to devotees individually But I would say, I'll just take 2 more minutes. Yesterday, when I went to Vrindavan on Guru Maharaj's Samadhi Memorial establishment, and there was the assembly of very, very exalted devotees. Very, very exalted devotees on this planet Earth as of now. And that Sangha was so rare, you shouldn't have missed it. You people were all absorbed in, so many other things. But in my life, I have never witnessed such a powerful Sangha or such powerful glorification. And I really doubt it will happen ever again. I don't see the possibility of it happening ever again. It was, I cannot share with you the magnitude of the spiritual potency that was flowing yesterday. So please, my request to all of you and those who are initiated, especially for those, must hear the full recording which Pranav said yesterday. And hear with lot of attention. You see here, another aspect is given. Narad Muni is saying, because I served them, so I got ruchi. I got a taste. And because of that taste, I could hear. If you don't have the taste, there is no possibility of doing Shravan and Kirtan. So I could get a taste yesterday of what is the glorious position of our spiritual master. Actually, he is Prabhupada, where all the other spiritual master takes shelter. So please hear very attentively. And please make notes. It will take at least 3 to 4 sessions, minimum 3 to 4 sessions to be able to actually hear with some attention. And you see the way these very exalted Paramhansas, they have really opened their heart yesterday. Full flow of their heart. And everyone present there, they were, diving in that ocean which was flowing yesterday. So you also try to at least get some remnants of it. And preserve that glory in your heart. So please write. I request all of you to please write and share. Okay. So thank you very much. Don't get disoriented. Otherwise, I will not call you. But the point is, we are again and again absorbed in material things. Nothing will change. ऊपर से आकाश गिर के जमीन पे नहीं आ जाएगा, या धरती फट के पाताल में नहीं चली जाएगी. कुछ नहीं होने वाला. अरे हम कौन पूछता है हमारे एग्जिस्टेंस को इस संसार में? But this Sangha will, I really doubt, can ever happen again. It was such a powerful Sangha yesterday. And such spotless glorification. It was everyone. Almost all senior disciples of Guru Maharaj, all my god brothers, all the big Srila Prabhupads, very senior sannyasis. Very, very senior sannyasis. These senior most sannyasis. His Holiness Indradum Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Giriraj Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj, His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj, the big stalwart. Jayapataka Swami Maharaj could not come, but he sent his message. How their hearts were flowing and what quality of Guru Maharaj they were revealing. Bhakti Vigyan Maharaj, so many stalwarts. In the last Shruti Kirti, Prabhu could get 2 minutes to speak. Who has been a dedicated servant of Prabhupada for so many years. Very, very exceptional sermon. So please hear, don't, and there is nothing in this world which is more important than that. मैंने बोला रविंदर को उसको डाउनलोड कर लो. डाउनलोड कर लो, उसके बाद धीरे-धीरे सुनो और लिखो. So yes, this chapter is speaking about the glory of the spiritual master. Without the direction of the spiritual master, there is no possibility of any spiritual success. It was not there even for Vyasadeva. What to speak of anyone else? I'll stop here. It is getting very late. Yeah. But please make it a point to hear it, record it, and share it. Thank you very much. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gurudev ki jai. Nidai